back at it again in the greenhouse, and it's pretty cool because since my last video, my pepper plants have grown significantly, as you can see here, and there are also many other plants growing, like igloo lettuce right behind me now, and tomatoes. And the fun thing about tomatoes is, since they are now fruiting and the fruit are ready pretty much shortly after fruiting, there are fresh tomatoes that I can eat. Well, they sort of allow me to eat. I can't really eat all of the tomatoes on the plant at one time, but I can still eat one or two or three. And the best thing about them being so fresh that I literally picked these two, about like right before I even started this video, so about 3 minutes ago. That's how fresh they are. I'm not actually a big fan of tomatoes, but I can't help but enjoy these ones because they're so fresh, and we really haven't put any pesticide on these ones, so there's no irritation to my throat because I'm a little allergic to some pesticides that are on certain plants, like apples and I think pears. This is one of the perks about my major, because I'm required to do a internship or research for about 3 credits worth, which is about 150 hours in the semester, which isn't too bad. It's 10 hours a week pretty much, and I've enjoyed my time so much that I've actually gotten a bit over where they expect us to be. And yeah. Next, I'm going to tell you about the kind of like the reasoning behind why I picked my major, why I decided to work in a greenhouse for my research instead of like in the field or in a lab. Alright, so as you may guess, I forgot to finish off that video, so I've ended up postponing the second part to that until now, which is kind of funny because now I'm home and finished with the semester. For my research, I had to write a 10+ page paper, including like diagrams, tables, charts, graphs, all sorts of things, as well as like info as to like how I felt I did on the research and what could have gone better, what I will need to learn in the future to kind of understand things. But the reason I chose doing it in the greenhouse is I'm much more of a like practical person. I enjoy doing things that are like well, planting the seeds into soil or rock wool, growing them, seeing how they grow, rather than being in a sterile lab environment or out in the field. Well, part of the reason I chose the greenhouse is because it was getting cold out, and if I went in the field, all I would be doing is picking the peppers and just explaining the like post-harvest side of things, and I was more wanting to understand hydroponics and how a certain plant would grow in them. As for my major, I chose my major because I've always been fascinated by plants. If you were to ask my parents, they'd always be like, referring to me as like the insane botanist, because I often tried to grow plants that were not in the region, that were not able to be really grown in my region unless I had like a greenhouse or like I have little glass domes that I put on pots and stuff, plant pots. Sorry about no like transition between these two parts. I totally forgot to include the transition that I wanted to insert, but oh well. It's kind of crazy because I am currently, like, as you probably heard from one of my other videos, I'm currently a senior. So this upcoming semester is my last semester. I actually only have one class left in my major to complete it. I just added a whole bunch of other classes that I found interesting because, well, I want to learn more about greenhouse systems and propagating plants, and also on the other side making videos and like personal finance, because who doesn't need to learn some level of finance. Sorry about these kind of boring videos. I realize not many people are interested in knowing my major and stuff, but I assure you, after I graduate and this upcoming semester, I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of cool and interesting videos rather than dull and kind of me just going on about one thing. My family's also been in the process of like packing up to move, so a lot of my time at home gets consumed by moving stuff into the storage containers and packing up stuff, putting them in boxes, looking through things and seeing what I need and what I don't need anymore. Maybe I'll end up doing a video of me just looking through a box of stuff and figuring out things I don't want anymore, but kind of showing off what I have. Because I know that I've gotten, at least in the past, a whole bunch of items that I wanted at one time, but never really wanted to keep. And the way my family is, we kind of keep things until we keep things because it's better to have them and not need them rather than need them and not have them, but I'm probably going to end up selling a whole bunch of items.